Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Unscaled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long, the Full Metal Traveler. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm here with my co-explorer, as always, Amy Long.
Hi.
We are coming to you from the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios here in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. And we want to thank you so much for joining us, for listening every single week. All of you for sharing our stuff. A lot of you, we got a lot of new subscribers. You know, we take these shows and we put them on like podcasting platforms like Apple, Spotify, and we got some new subscribers.
People are listening.
People listen.
They like us.
And they're leaving us 5-star reviews. Thank you so much for all of that. You know what? I wanted to real quickly do a special shout out to our listeners in Bisbee, Arizona. KBRP 96.1. Bisbee's Radio for the People. I like the slogan. Radio for the people.
I like it.
There you go. Thank you so much. Bisbee, you know, listening down there. We got to get down to Bisbee.
We're not far.
We're not far.
We went to a little town called Tombstone a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Not too far from Bisbee.
Not too far. In fact, we saw a lot of signs pointing us towards Bisbee.
Right.
We need to make that drive again. So thank you so much for KBRP for putting us on air there. And like so many of our wonderful affiliates around the world, thank you so much for having us. This show is all about one of our new favorite places. It's only a place that we've visited a couple of times recently. Mm-hmm. But it really, I mean, there's no place quite like South Beach in Miami. It makes quite an impression.
Yes, it does.
As far as the things to do and the people, and most importantly on our list, the food.
Oh, yeah. I was so excited. So
happy to talk about South Beach food. So a little bit later on in the show, we're going to talk to travel journalist Matt Meltzer, who's going to, you know, he writes for Thrillist and all these other wonderful publishers. He knows everything going on in the cuisine world in Miami. We're gonna talk extensively. We're gonna talk breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yum.
Where you want to go to show off whoever you're with, or be seen, or not be seen. All kinds of places. So you're definitely gonna want to stick around for that. So you like so many of these episodes where we talk about these specific places. We'd love to give you an idea of what you can expect, what you can do, what there is to do, things to see, free things, family things. And of course, you know, we just talked about these places to eat and everything. So South Beach is no different. Now, we're not talking about Miami in general. Miami is huge. Miami has all sorts of different cultural influences. For this particular show, we're concentrating on South Beach, which is that little beach there in the south.
Little bitty island.
Yeah. That so we're confining, you know, because people will write in and they'll be like, yeah, well, you missed this place and this place. I understand that. I get it. There's way too much to cover in one show.
Right.
Miami is like LA or New York or even here in Vegas. You just can't cover it in one show. So you got to break it down into sections.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. Well, you had gone to South Beach a few years ago, and I just went for the first time because we had an unexpected 24 hours in Miami. We went on a cruise earlier this year, and somehow our arrival date back into Miami and our flight home were not on the same day. It was the next day. So we're like, what do we do with our 24 hours? So we went over to South Beach and explored, and I loved it. Yeah,
instantly one of your favorite places. And I tell you why. I mean, there's so much, art,
right,
culture. And if you are into, of course, there's the beach part, which is already going to be, it's one of the most popular beaches in the world.
Yeah.
It sees in excess of almost, I think, 13, 14 million visitors every single year. Just this beach area alone in Miami, not to count all the other beaches that they have, Key West and all these other places that are attached to southern Miami. But, it has such a rich history too. Like, where did the Art Deco come from? Why all of a sudden did they start doing Art Deco in the middle like a lot of these buildings popped up around the Depression or right after the Depression. Why did they start doing it? There's a whole history there that we could do an entire episode on.
And you love that kind
and
of
I love
stuff.
it. I don't want to bore you on this one, but one of the best things to do, honestly, is just exploring what they call Ocean Drive, Ocean Avenue, Ocean Drive. There you go. Ocean Drive is where a lot of these Art Deco hotels now reside.
Yeah. And you've seen them on TV and in movies. And when you think of South Beach, that's the image that pops into your head is these Art Deco buildings. But they're not just an Art Deco building. They are all like pastel colors and they're lit up with neon at night. So we walked through there during the day and then turned around and went back at night to see how it was different with the neon lights. And it's just so cool to see these buildings with bright yellow lights and hot pink and green and blue. It was just really neat to see it. It's like you're in a different time.
Yeah, it's like a throwback to 1950s, but like Cuba.
Yeah.
So you're going to see the fins on the cars that are parked out front of these hotels that are all booked. So when you see movies, like you think of movies like The Birdcage.
I know.
With the great Tim Robbins Robin Williams, sorry. Robin Williams.
and Nathan
Lane.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tim Robbins. Shawshank Redemption. That's a totally different story.
Very different movie.
That's totally different.
I don't think that was in South Beach.
Well, yeah, I don't know. So,
but speaking of The Birdcage, that movie, they used one of the buildings on Ocean Drive as the exterior shots for the home and club in the movie. And that building is called the Carlisle. And when we walked down there, that was by far my favorite building because it does have hot pink and green paints and neons on the outside. And I loved it. I just thought it was so pretty. I took so many pictures of it. I know you liked a few of the other ones like the Leslie and the Marlin, which they're not all only on Ocean Drive. The street behind it also has quite a few Art Deco buildings too. So, I mean, we walked around for hours just looking at cool buildings and taking pictures.
Yeah, and it also like the famed Versace mansion.
The Versace mansion
is there, and unfortunately, he lost his life there and everything, but now, it's still there.
It's a museum.
It's a museum. It's still a very popular tourist attraction. And of course, it's lit up at night as well. So it's a lot of fun. It's one of those places that is active in the daytime and at night. Not to mention, you're literally steps away from the sand, the beautiful sand of, South Beach.
Right.
Of the beaches right there, which includes all the regular beach things. I mean, there's tons of water sports. There's tons of wellness activities. There's all kinds of yoga clubs. Almost everybody you see is on a bike of some sort. And there's all kinds of electric bikes so you can rent that are, just sitting on the side of the road or those little scooters.
So, that big section of Ocean Drive is actually blocked off to traffic.
Yeah, a lot of it's blocked off.
Because there's so many pedestrians and people on bikes and skateboards and just people everywhere. So I think like 4 blocks of it directly across from the beach, you can't drive down, which makes for great pictures. There's no cars in the way. But it was just a really nice place to just go and hang out and see all these different people. We were there in December and there were people in bathing suits because it was still warm and they're going out to the beach and they had like kids with, all their little beach toys. And it was just a really like fun place to just explore.
Absolutely. So if you make your way from the beaches and from Ocean Drive, which I keep calling it Ocean Drive.
It is Ocean Drive.
Ocean. I keep thinking of that song. Remember that song? Ocean?
No.
Yellow Card? Anyone? No? Okay, I'm the only one. So if you go south from there. So the nightlife, the cultural events, all of that stuff. We're going to get into some festivals and festivities too throughout the year that are also found in that area. But also you can go to South Point Park, which is the most south you can go, and it's all, it's all beautiful and everything. And these are also like free things. The beach is free, walking around, of course, and do your shopping, bike riding, dining, sunset cruises. Oh yeah, sunset cruises.
Yeah.
And if you're a person who likes to have a little bit of coffee and people watch, well, let me tell you, you're going to see all kinds of people in all kinds of get-ups and all kinds of influencers and all kinds of radio show hosts that don't look good on camera, but they're down there anyway.
Taking photos.
Taking photos. So stay right here. We're talking South Beach, Miami. We're going to have more. It's the Unscaled Travel Show. We'll be right back.
Unskilled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unskilled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long, the Full Metal Traveler. As always, find us online for all of our past episodes and interviews, fullmetaltraveler.com. You can find everything right there, and including this one. Again, thank you so much for all of our new subscribers on Apple and, of course, Spotify for the podcasting platforms and all of our affiliates that carry our radio show around the world. We appreciate it. I'm here with my co-host and co-explorer, Amy Long.
Hi.
We are at the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios in Las Vegas. We're talking Miami, South Beach in particular, giving you some fun, mostly free things to do, in this beautiful area of the city that sees millions of visitors every single year. One of the things I did recently here, just kind of off topic, was that it's a very popular place for spring breakers, but the last few spring breaks have been so wild down there. They're implementing new laws to kind of curb, some see it as a tourism killer. Some people see it as, hey, we're just trying to get things back in order.
Right.
But new, shutting off and down roads towards the beach. So there's only one way in and one way out, really making congestion a big thing, which is already kind of a thing in South Beach. There's not a whole lot of square footage again. So finding parking garages and things of this nature was already a premium. So finding them now and getting in and out in a good amount of time is now up there. And of course, the fines for people getting out of control are starting to creep up and everything. So
it's sad that has to happen.
It's unfortunate.
And like we've said before, be a responsible, courteous traveler.
Yeah.
Don't get out of hand.
Yeah.
Those of you that are, you're ruining it for everyone else.
And, you think you're having fun, but hey, it hurts everyone around. It hurts the businesses. Obviously, there's less people and everything. Anyway, off my platform. Back to fun, free things to do, or at least next to free. We got our walking around a little bit, both in the day and the nighttime for our short amount of time that we were there last time. We stopped at a few places to eat in particular. One on, Ocean Drive. That was Call Me Cuban.
We had at Call Me Cuban. We had breakfast there. Oh, the French toast was amazing. I highly recommend.
We also went to a place called Bella Cuban.
Yes, we had dinner there. That was very good too. It was very good. One of these little kind of hole in the wall places, but they had excellent ratings on Google. And so we tried it out. Totally worth it. Go to Bella Cuban.
Oh, Bella Cuba. Sorry.
Cuba. Sorry.
Bella Cuba on, what was that? Washington? Yeah, it was on Washington. And right up from Washington, this is a fun little area. It's away from the beach. It's a couple of blocks away, but you're going to find a lot of stuff. Even if you're traveling around with your family, a lot of stuff for you guys to do. One of those things is the park. The park of the Soundscape. Soundscape Park at Miami Beach. Soundscape Park is where they often host outdoor movies, like family movies, and they'll have different high-tech audio and video shows that'll play there throughout the year, so you can check details for those listings throughout every year. But it also sits across the street from one of your favorite places,
the Fillmore.
The Fillmore.
Yeah, it was really cool.
What is the Fillmore again?
It's like a musical theater. They put on shows and things like that. But I think there was actually a show there that night because it was all lit up and there were cars outside. So we walked by. We didn't get to go in.
Yeah.
But we didn't plan very well for that trip. We just happened to be in Miami. So.
No. We didn't plan on being in South Beach. We just
went.
We just had 24 hours.
Yeah.
So we just went there. And another really famous area, at least with tourists, is the Lincoln Road Mall.
Which is not really a mall in the traditional sense.
In the traditional sense. It's not like the one that we used to go to.
The 90s. The 80s, those malls.
And you had your mom drop you off, and like, if your mom will drop us off, my mom will pick us up.
And somebody had a quarter to use the payphone to call their mom
wow.
the end of the day.
How old are we?
Oh, wow. I
Yeah,
know.
that was before cell phones and all of that. Anyway, I'm going to cry here. Weep for my youth. So the Lincoln Road Mall is basically all the stores face the inside of this street.
Which is closed off to traffic.
It's closed off to traffic, so very pedestrian friendly.
Most of the restaurants all had outdoor seating like in the middle of the road. So it really is open to just wandering and sitting and shopping. It seems like a mall without having a roof on it.
Miami in general is just one of these cities that really comes to life at night. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's always people around during the day, but it's at nighttime that it really, creates a life of its own and really gives Miami that spirit, that energy that only Miami can really produce, man, because you have these cultural influences, right? You have Cuban and Haitian and all of these influences coming together, Puerto Rican, and, they all have their different restaurants, and you'll see people dancing because there's live bands and it's a fun place to be. And that's like anywhere you go, almost every street. I would think the closest might be like the French Quarter in New Orleans or something like that. But this is...
It was a very fun atmosphere, just walking around.
It was.
Yeah, we came across several streets that just were really neat looking. Like similar to the Lincoln Park Mall was Espanola Way, which was not very far, but it had a similar vibe. Streets closed off. It had a lot of trees that kind of blocked the sun, so it gave it a little bit more of like an intimate type of feel, but there were a lot of restaurants with outdoor patios and some shops, and it was just a nice place to walk around.
Tons of fun there. Even if you get lost. The first time I went down there with a group of guys, and it was actually for work, but it was, you have a couple of adult beverages and things can look similar. And you think you're in one place and you're not. And so when I tried to lead you back down there, I was like, I'm pretty sure it's around here. Like I have fuzzy memories, and not like warm fuzzy memories, just like.
We did eventually find the place you ate. It just took quite a bit of wandering to get there.
There's also, tons of like, if you are not lactose intolerant like I am, there's tons of ice cream shops, rolled ice cream shops.
We did. We ate at Miami and Ice, which was rolled ice cream, but I got the ice cream spaghetti, and that was really interesting to watch them make. They basically put super frozen ice cream in honestly, it reminds me of the Play-Doh thing where you put it in there and the strips of spaghetti Play-Doh come out. That's what it looked like. And then they topped it with like crushed strawberries and coconut so that it looked like marinara and Parmesan cheese on it. It was really good, but I got it more because I wanted to see how they made it.
Were you one of those kids? Did you eat the Play-Doh?
No.
You didn't? Mm-mm. I did.
I'm
that
not
might
surprised.
Explain.
I'm not surprised.
Oh, that might explain a couple of things, huh? Was it like a mind thing? Like, were you looking at spaghetti? Because I remember looking at you eating it, and you kind of hesitated there for a minute. You were like...
Just a little bit, because it was just a little like getting my mind wrapped around this is going to taste like ice cream, even though it looks like spaghetti.
There's nothing quite like that, like biting into something or drinking something you think is going to be one thing and it's something else.
It was very clearly ice cream, but just it was in a bowl like spaghetti. But it was good. It was really good.
I just remember staring at the poor lady over the glass, just breathing heavy. It's the Unscaled Travel Show. We'll be right back.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long, the Full Metal Traveler. As always, you can join us at fullmetaltraveler.com for all of our past episodes and interviews, all of that great stuff. You can find pictures of me on there. Not that you want to see them, but they're there. We have been exploring the diverse and delectable flavors that really define South Beach, Miami. This is a place where a fusion of international influences really create a culinary experience that can't be found anywhere else. It's really amazing, and to help us sort it all out, today our guest is Matt Meltzer. Matt is a former Miami editor and travel staff writer with Thrillist who covers Miami and South Florida for a number of publications. He's also a professor of writing for digital media at the University of Miami, Go Canes, and a veteran of the United States Marine Corps. Matt, thanks so much for joining us today.
Hey, man, thanks for having me. This is an honor and a pleasure. Thank you.
Oh, man, an honor. I definitely owe you some money now, man. Laying it on thick.
I'm honored. Right.
Well, Miami and South Beach in particular, I mean, they're both known for those Cuban flavors, those Cuban influences. So most people know about that going in. But can you tell us a little bit about what else is out there? I mean, what other cultural influences can you find in that area?
Well, I think what people hear a lot about Miami is, it's a Cuban city. There's a lot of Cuban people, and that is absolutely true. But it is also the capital of Latin America. I mean, just geographically, anybody from the Caribbean, Latin America that's coming to the United States, almost everyone comes through Miami at some point. They will call it the modern Ellis Island. So as a result, really any food you want to get from anywhere south of the border, you can get here. Not much Mexican, ironically. There, everything's here. Peruvian food. I used to joke that we have more Peruvian restaurants than actual Peru, because there was a period where I think 3 were opening up every week. Tons of Peruvian flavors here. You'll find those all over the city, whether it's more traditional stuff in like ceviches, into more Nikkei cuisine, which obviously includes Asian influences. And again, everything from little neighborhood holes in the wall to really high-end exclusive places like Chotomate and other spots like that. Also Caribbean food, huge, not just Puerto Rican or Dominican, which you'll find in Alicata and other areas that have big Puerto Rican, Dominican populations, but more that West Indian food, talking about Jamaican, Trinidadian, that kind of stuff with the curries and shark bake and roti and bus up shut and those kinds of real spicy, over-the-top, bold flavors. You'll find a ton of those there too. Argentine steakhouses, we got a spot here called Graziano's that's a Argentine grocer / steakhouse that has several locations around the city and is sort of an institution here. So you'll find all kinds of Argentine steak, a little bit of Brazilian rodizio, really any kind of flavor you would look for from Latin America, the Caribbean. There's a spot in Miami that has it. We're not quite like New York where they have literally everything, but certainly everything from that corner of the globe, anything you want, you'll find here.
Oh, man, you are making me hungry already, man. First question out the gate. Let's stop talking. Let's start eating, bro.
Absolutely.
Well, let's back up. Let's start with breakfast. Okay, breakfast, most important meal of the day, right? You got to start it off strong. So we're really, trying to aim our conversation toward maybe visitors who are visiting for the first time, or maybe they've been there briefly before and they're going back and they really want to dive in. So for travelers who want to get that real, true Cuban breakfast, which is famous, where should they start? And most importantly, what should they order?
All right. Well, here's the thing. If you're in South Beach, wonderful programming. It's not a Cuban. There's a few spots there that are great if you want to try a Cuban breakfast. Puerto Sagua is probably one of the best known. It's been there forever. It's kind of like a Cuban diner. There's a spot called Las Olas Cafe that also has Cuban coffees and all kinds of Cuban delicacies. And then there's a newer spot that's popped up called Cubaton, which it really does Cuban sandwiches, but in the morning they'll do breakfast stuff, Cuban coffees and cafecitos and pastelitos and those types of things. The coolest thing about that place is they have a bathroom that's like a shrine to Pitbull. So it's just old albums and record things, and Pitbull music comes on when you walk in, so you really get immersed in the Pitbull experience when you go to get your breakfast. And they have fresh juices. So that's about the best you're going to find in South Beach.
Man, you've given us a lot of great suggestions so far, but I know there are those high rollers, man. They want somewhere upscale. They got to take their gold digging wives and girlfriends somewhere nice because they don't demand anything, or they demand nothing less. What are a couple of options where they can show off their arm candy?
It depends if you want to show off your arm candy or you want good food. If you want to show off and be in the scene, I mean, I don't recommend the food here, but Poppy Steak is about as seen as it gets right now. At the Dave Grutman spot, and Dave is if nothing, he is great at hype, at creating a celebrity buzz and creating a spot where people want to bring their arm candy. And if that's what you're going for, if you want that see and be seen atmosphere in South Beach, Poppy Steak is great. If you want great steak, there's 5 better steak houses within 2 blocks. But it's always about what you're looking for. Now, if you want to drop money on what's going to be one of the best meals of your life, LCLO at the SLS. There's a Michelin-starred spot in D.C. and in Brickell in Miami. The South Beach location doesn't have a star yet, but it's one of those places where everything you eat is the best thing you ever ate until the next course comes out, which is then the best thing you ever ate. Nice. It's this kind of upscale Colombian food by a chef named Juan Manuel Barrientos, who's absolutely incredible, a very gifted chef. Everything he makes is delicious. And you'll walk out of there and you'll probably drop $400 a person, but you will feel like you absolutely got your money's worth there. Yeah, you're not going to top that at all. I think if you want to do sushi bar at the S01 Hotel, it's another omakase, but they do some kind of different things. Not just eating raw fish. They put all kinds of interesting marinades and toppings and sauces and all these deals. It's not quite as over the top as Nosa Omakase. It's a little more laid back, a little more chill, a little more intimate. And I think that's another great spot if you're into sushi. Definitely try that one.
People always want to go do something. I don't know. They can't just sit and people watch. They want to go do and be a part of something. I mean, Miami itself has a number of festivals. South Beach, what can you recommend for people as far as like maybe festivities or special events?
Well, I mean, if you want to do a tour, like a tour of the city and the food, it's a very easy name. It's called Miami Food Tours. They do a great job. It's a lady I knew her from my boxing gym, believe it or not, and she runs a fantastic tour. And they go through different neighborhoods. They'll do one of Wynwood. They'll do one of Cayocho. They'll do one of South Beach. They'll do one of different parts of town. Now, as far as festivals go, I mean, for food, nothing's going to top South Beach Wine and Food Festival, which we just finished up here. Which, if I have one piece of advice to you, it is pace yourself, because it is easy to go overboard at that thing. Because you go and it's some of the best wines in the world and some of the best food in the world and some of the best spirits in the world, and it's unlimited. So it's real easy to go overboard. So pace yourself and hydrate and drink a lot of water, which I didn't do this weekend. So learn from my mistakes and definitely I drank a lot of water, but I did not sleep enough. So absolutely make sure you pace yourself with that. As far as other big events, I mean, again, if you want to talk about food and drink, nothing really tops that. We have James Suckling, Great Wines of the World, coming here in a couple of weeks, where they're pouring, again, just top vintage wines, including, I think, the number 1 wine in the world from this year from Wine Spectator is going to be there. That's a great festival to go to. We have some little things, some other smaller things, but they're more one-off festivals. So I could recommend you something like EatsCon, which was about 3 weeks ago, which was all local restaurants, and it was great. And it was cool, but are they going to do it again? It was the first one. It depends how many tickets they sold. So that's a tough one to talk about. Obviously, Ultra Music Festival coming up here. That's the biggest music festival of the year here. People come from all over the world for that. You got to be into electronic music, though, because if you're not, that song gets old after about a couple hours.
Hey, man, we're at a place where they have given, you a place to worship Pitbull in the bathrooms. So we're not talking about overindulging, but like you said, pace yourself, or you'll end up in your birthday suit on South Beach, which I think is a $250 fine. So it
depends who you are. They may just tell you to move along. Depends how busy the weekend is.
If you're medium cool,
depends how much you give the cops. But if you're medium cool, you're fine.
Matt, thank you so much for your time. You gave us a lot of great information, folks. I know we ran through a lot, but go to the show notes. You can find us there. Go to fullmetaltraveler.com. We'll have all the restaurants listed out there so you can make your own decisions and choices. I know we gave you a lot. That's what the show's about. So keep it right here, Matt. Thank you so much for your time, man. Keep it right here, folks. Unscaled Travel Show. We'll be right back.
My pleasure. Have a good one.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. It's Jeremy Long, the Full Metal Traveler, here with my co-host, Amy Long.
Hi.
We used to call her Spicy.
I think they know who I am now.
Oh, okay, yeah. What does that mean? We're coming to you from the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios here in beautiful Las Vegas. We're talking all about South Beach, though.
South Beach.
Fun things to just, walk around and do. If you have a day or two in Miami, in particular, South Beach, Miami is huge.
Yeah.
There's always something going on. Miami has its own feel, its own, energy to it, especially at nighttime. We've talking all about it. We're giving you some good stuff. The Art Deco and going to see the old hotels that are done up that old Art Deco way. And you can see the flare fin cars, cruising down Ocean Drive. Oh my God, I keep calling it Ocean Avenue, man. But Ocean Drive.
That's from eating all that Play-Doh.
Okay. Yeah. That red dye number 12, whatever that was. Yeah. Thank you so much to Matt Meltzer, who, joined us, give us a lot of great restaurants.
Yeah. And he talked about one that we went to that was so good.
Yeah. He gave us so many that we couldn't fit them all into that episode. So for the full interview, please go to fullmetaltraveler.com, hear the whole thing. And also look at the show notes, because we have the shows listed. I mean, all the restaurants listed underneath that particular post. But yeah, he mentioned one that we love. I told you when we went down there initially, like, you got to have a Cubano sandwich. Mm-hmm. Okay. Cubanos were kind of born in this area. They're Cuban. They are like the most classic Cuban thing you could probably get outside of maybe one or two other dishes. But so it's a big thing. Like, where were they actually created? A few places claim it. Matt and I kind of got into that. What's the history there? Where's the best place to go? One of them is found on South Beach, and that is Cubatón.
Which we didn't even know. We just happened to be walking by it, and it smelled so incredible.
We
literally
hungry,
turned around.
I don't think we were even hungry.
We weren't. We had breakfast like an hour before that, and we were walking past it, and they were making sandwiches in there, and it called to us. It spun us around on the street. We got like two stores past it and turned around and had to go in and order them.
Cubatón is, I'm probably saying it with the whitest inflection possible, but it is a very unassuming sandwich shop. Mm-hmm. We walked right past it the first time. We doubled back and looked at it, and then we walked around the corner fully fledged on doing something else. And went back to, I think, our hotel room, and then we were like, dude, we got to go back there. I can't get the smell out of my head, man. And we went back there and had one of the best Cubano sandwiches I have ever
incredible.
Had.
Super messy, but so good.
Oh my gosh, man. And people were everyone there was smiling, because how could you not smile at a place like that?
They loved their jobs. They were so happy.
And Matt and I mentioned it a couple of times. Here's the fun thing. You go into the restroom and you're I don't know why, and I failed to ask, but there's a shrine to Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide himself. And I don't know why this is.
Maybe he ate there. I don't know.
Maybe he did, or maybe he's just, maybe because it's Pitbull. So,
I don't know. We have to go back and ask and get another sandwich. It was so good.
So that made me think, you know what? We have to do our bathroom as a shrine to somebody.
Not Pitbull.
Well, no, not Pitbull.
He already
that's
has
already
one.
done. It's already done.
Who's ours going to be?
Steve Gutenberg.
From 3 Men and a Baby.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking Police Academy. But
yeah.
So, yes, Steve, if you're listening, we're going to make this happen. So, also, while you're down there, if you time your traveling just right, you'll make it in time for a number of their festivals.
Big festivals.
Huge festivals. And in fact, when we were there, they were getting ready. They were actually setting up for something.
They were setting up for Art Basel,
okay,
which is a global festival, but this is what I understand, the United States leg of it is in Miami every year, and they were setting up for it. And the huge tents were on the beach where it was going to be. Unfortunately, it started the day after we left, but I would love to go back and see it. Or go back in January for the Art Deco weekend.
Yeah. And like Art Basel is huge. It takes place in different areas all around Miami, including the events in South Beach. So it's not just the events in South Beach. or the satellite events in South Beach, but it's all over. Same with, Art Deco kind of takes over that area. Another huge one I know is the Wine and Food Festival.
Oh, right. Yeah.
The South Beach Wine and Food Festival is like, if you want just like a crash course in it all, which I absolutely say you should do this. It's usually held around February every year. If you can travel to Miami, South Beach for this festival, you will get a little bit of everything. And I don't think you'll want to come home.
Well, I don't know why we didn't go to South Beach in February.
Well, I don't know. Why not? If you're into fashion, there's International Fashion Week. And that is usually held around January, February as well. There, Pride, Miami Beach Pride is usually around April. The Latin Music Festival. There's so much to kind of wrap your head around. There's even a pop festival.
Yeah.
So if you like pop, and you never know because it's Miami, who's going to show up from whoever's listed on the official poster, and then they always have guest stars.
Surprise.
Just pop into
fun
Miami, and they have fun things like the Miami Beach Halloween half marathon and what they call the Freaky 4-miler.
I would love to see that. That would be fun.
There you go. There's just so much to see and do, and it's kind of hard to get it all into one, even one episode of this, or even just experiencing Miami just for one weekend.
We were only there for 24 hours. Literally, we were flying out the next day after our cruise. Yeah. But something we did that I really enjoyed and you didn't mention was going and looking at all the colorful lifeguard stands on South Beach.
Oh, yeah.
Because every lifeguard stand is painted a different color or different combinations of colors. They're all different shapes. So like one's round, another one was like, it looked like it had a wavy roof on it. Another one was painted like a rainbow. It was just really fun to walk and see all these different lifeguard stations. And there were tons of people walking with us taking photos. So we were all trying to like be respectful and let everybody get their photo. But it was just another free thing to do. Walk on the beach and check out all the different lifeguard stations.
And Miami Beach has, if you're going to go down there, Miami Beach has we always wonder about the sand. I know they bring in tons of sand every year because erosion's a thing. But, they have the hard area where the lifeguard trucks and, stuff like that pass back and forth. So it's kind of packed down. But then you got that softer sand near the water. That is, is it just me? I feel like I can't walk in sand.
It's been a while since we walked in sand, but yes,
I walk in sand.
I was exhausted after just our little trek down the beach. That sand was so soft and deep, it was a struggle to pick your feet up and walk over that. So then we moved to the packed down sand where the truck was.
That's how people describe me. Soft and deep.
Yes, that's exactly how people describe you.
What does that mean? And we're canceled. I did. I felt bad for a minute there. I was sweating.
We had to stop and take a break. Yeah.
I sat down and pretended to look at the water so the kids wouldn't make fun of me. But really, I just sat down because I was out of breath. I need to exercise more. But I got to be like Rocky. Look, we got to do a Rocky Apollo Creed training montage so we can be running in the sand in slow motion.
Is there sand in Philadelphia?
Did you watch it? No, you didn't watch that movie. Is there sand in Philadelphia? Are there beaches?
He ran on the streets and then up the stairs at the place.
Yeah, that's the first one.
What one are you talking about?
I don't know. There's 32 of them.
I don't know.
But anyway, they do have. I'm not going to explain this to you on air. Anyway, they do have a scene where they're running on the beach. But yes, we need to do that. We did mention barbecue. What was your favorite meal? We had a couple of things besides the Cuban sandwich.
Oh, but it was so good. Besides the Cuban sandwich was probably the breakfast at Call Me Cuban, because I'm telling you, that French toast was incredible. And I had Cuban coffee that morning, and it was really, really good. And we were sitting there right there on Ocean Drive. Now you have me doing it.
I knew I'd get you.
Watching everybody walking on the street that morning, headed to the beach. It was just such a nice morning.
Thanks for joining us. Hope you have fun. Get down to South Beach. This has been the Unscaled Travel Show. We'll see you guys next time.